Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Well, you know what? I've seen your hernia.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it, okay? Can't tell me you don't have a hernia when I've seen it. Am I right?
Wow.
It's fun to find that again. I love it.
It's like rediscovering an old album you haven't heard in years.
Yep. Seeing your best friend that you haven't seen since high school. Something like that. Yeah, it's good stuff. How about we start with a really feel-good video? This happened at the University of Washington yesterday at an Antifa rally, I guess. Is this a pro-Hamas Antifa rally?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So one of the Antifa, or several Antifa members, think that one of their Antifa supporters is a pro-Israel protester. And here's what ensues.
Uh-oh. Chasing him down. He's right there. Get him.
Get him. Start beating him. Oop, yep, beating him. Hey. Hey, I'm a scumbag commie like you guys.
He's one of ours.
It's great.
Oh.
Look at him in riot gear, too. They're ready to clash with the police. This is getting really dangerous, man.
Do you like our flag back?
Can we have like our flag back? You can have like your flag back, but you can't have your flag back. So
Something similar.
Something
to.
like it, though. Yeah, we'll see if we can find you a stick.
Yeah. These.
Give it to you.
You know, by the way, before we move on any further, can I point out something that Daniel noticed yesterday after the fact? We had the hunger strike people over at Princeton. By the way, have they shriveled up and died yet? Is that not
It's only
so
day
far?
11.
No.
Day 11?
I thought it was 9.
Well, they started
should be
on May
9.
3rd.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Well, then you do the math. That's too much. 9, 10, 11, 12. This is day 12 then, right?
Yeah.
Today
It's
would
been
be day
11
12.
days. This
Okay.
is day 12, yeah.
So anyway, they were one of the guy was speaking, right? And Daniel's like, "What's that in front of him?" He thought it was like a Lego thing. Can we put the picture up? That's actually I figured out what this is. That is a big Rubbermaid bin
Oh, yeah.
that they're using as a podium because they're so awesome at the old. That's the top of a Rubbermaid bin. That's your podium over at the
Oh, good.
Princeton
Okay.
hunger strike. What a
All righty.
classy group of people.
Yeah. They're good.
Yes.
They're good. In Palestinian, I'm sorry, no, this wasn't Palestinian territory. This was
no.
Chicago, Illinois.
Tomato.
Whatever. Same thing.
Oh, Chicago. That's MAGA country, right?
Yes, but right. Exactly. But only at 2 in the morning when it's 20 below zero in the dead of winter.
And you get in Subway.
And you're getting a Subway sandwich. Yeah. The Palestinian flag was raised above the Daily Plaza.
Wow, that's gross.
Look how big that thing is. Where'd you get that? Where'd you even get that?
It's a make-believe land.
Wow. You can't be serious.
Chicago, Illinois. There you go.
All right. Not concerned, obviously, with proper flag etiquette. They're raising it to the same height as the American flag.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, that's the next video, I think, right?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. Here it is. Let's play that one, too. Flying at the same height.
Yeah, there it was.
Ugh.
Right there. Yep.
Oh, that was quick.
I'm sorry.
There it is.
excuse me.
There you go. Okay. Crazy.
Yeah. By the way, I looked up. I was like, what are the
Crazy.
significance of the colors on the Palestinian flag? The red, black, the white, the green.
Mm-hmm.
And
You found it out?
yeah, there's just
good.
all sorts of good stuff, different descendants and stuff like this. And there's also this Fatimid Caliphate represented there. That's what the green is. And so I was like, let me look up a map of that. What do they think that should be? Oh, it's Northern Africa, the Middle East, and Southern Europe. So congratulations.
problem.
When you're waving that flag, you're saying, take over parts of 3 continents. Let's go. It's not just confined to right there in the Gaza Strip area in the West Bank.
The beauty of it, though, is that these supporters have no clue.
They don't care. I know.
None. Hillary Clinton got all kinds of flack for saying they don't. I think we mentioned that yesterday. That they don't know the history. These supporters don't know the history of the Middle East. And they don't. So you're okay with a caliphate that would include, 3 different continents? Okay. All right. What morons.
Yep. And they don't
And they want to bring it here, too. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. Even if they do know the history, they don't care about it because they're so anti-Semitic. They hate the Jews so much that they're fine with the elimination of Jews. You can absolutely understand now how this occurred in Germany in the 1930s. Mm-hmm. Is it a stretch anymore? Not at all. Not at all. Because here we are. Never again. It's happening right now. Chicago's going to make a lovely city for the Democrat National Convention, by the way, coming later in the summer. A Biden spokesperson certainly thinks so.
As you know, there are Democrats who are worried about the possibility of demonstrations, perhaps remembering the chaos of 1968's convention in the Windy City for the Democrats. Are you confident the party can pull off a convention that shows party unity and inclusion, as opposed to the Republican convention, where organizers are reportedly pushing to keep protesters as far away as possible?
Good.
Yeah, I'm very confident that we're going to have a convention that celebrates the unity, the diversity, the strength of the Democratic Party, and provides the American people with the showcase of exactly what the next 4 years are going to be like under Joe Biden. And the reason I'm confident is because if you want to look at the work that this campaign and this president has done to unify the party since the primaries kicked off, for example, it's Joe Biden who has coalesced the Democratic base.
But let me ask you this question. Okay. Who is Michael Zeha Billy Bob? Michael Zeha Billabong. Michael Zeha Beelzebub. Are you Michael Zeha Beetlejuice? Is that who you are? You look just like him. So great. This is like the second thing we've had on Al Sharpton after a really long stretch where we were bereft of any Sharpton clips. Mm-hmm. So that's great.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to have him back. At the heart of the bad polling data for Biden yesterday against Trump, geez, and it was really bad. Talked about the swing states. He's behind in 6 out of 7 swing states. The only one he leads in, the only one Joe Biden leads in, is Wisconsin, and that's only by 2 points, 47-45. He's down by 10 in Georgia. He's down by 12 in Nevada. Oof. These are states Biden won last time around. So, anyway, minorities and young voters are peeling off and deciding on Donald Trump. Here's a reminder of what Joe said during the 2020 campaign.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Right. Right. Brilliant. Brilliant, right? And I think blacks love that. They all think alike. They're of one mind, and they understand that you vote Democrat or you're not even the color you think you are. And here's one black man's response to that back in in 2024. Now,
I didn't like hearing the current president now say that, if you're not black if you don't vote Democrat. I thought that was a load of BS. I thought that was an insult.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh-huh. It sure was.
I'm your nightmare.
Okay. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was discussing a very important anniversary this week, the 70th anniversary of desegregation of schools, Brown versus Board of Education.
Wait, what's it called? What's the case called?
Brown versus Board of Education.
Oh, that's not what it's called.
No?
We are indeed commemorating the landmark Broad v. Board of Education. And
Broad v. Board.
Okay, Broad. What Broad brought that to the board?
Broad v. Board.
Who are you calling a broad?
Famous case.
Does the broad appreciate being called a broad?
We should bring that word back, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Hobo and broad aren't used enough in our lexicon.
I love the word hobo.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. It's a fun word. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My son, who's now, 30, whenever we drive past an area
yeah,
that looked decent, he would always look out the window and say, Dad, if I ever become a hobo, I want to live right there.
I like it. Hobo Town.
Okay. All right.
Every city's got one.
Keep that in mind and check this place. Keep it in your diary, your journal, whatever it is, and come back to it when you're a hobo.
The problem with that word is like when you look at a hobo, it doesn't look like how you pictured it. The little stick with the little baggie, the little 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, hopping a train,
messed up jacket. You can see his
You're right.
toes through the boot.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's not the guy that I pictured.
No. The guy now is living under a bridge with his skinny dog and his meth teeth.
Yep,
and,
no teeth.
Yeah,
if he has
iPhone.
any teeth.
And his iPhone.
That's
a fact.
And a knife to stab people as they walk by.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. So the Broad of education.
Yeah,
Good.
Broad v. Board.
Broad v. Board.
Broad v. Board.
Man, is she butt stupid or what? It is amazing. In a debate last night, Representative Jamal Bowman was asked about what's happening.
He's the fire alarm guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Okay. So
what's happening on college campuses, Jamal?
Okay.
Can there be a two-state solution in your mind as long as Hamas remains in control of any portion of Gaza?
No, Hamas needs to be condemned and immediately dealt with. There can't be. So we have to deal with them.
And on the flip side, Mr. Latimer, can there be a two-state solution as long, if that is what you advocate, as long as Mr. Netanyahu remains in power?
I don't think it's a question of who's in power. I think the Israeli people need to see that they have a partner for peace. And they don't see a partner for peace right now. I think the role that President Biden plays in all of this is an honest broker.
Okay.
Israel knows that it needs the United States as an ally. And I have taken the position, I think it's the intelligent position for a legislator to take, a future legislator, is to work through your legislative bodies and try to influence the president in that fashion, not to have 435 secretaries of state all commenting on every little
These are two
nuance.
Democrats debating,
And
by
if
the
Joe
way.
Biden understands, as I know he does, and the people around him, that this is going to take negotiation
good luck,
between
New
the
York,
Israeli
with this
community,
seat.
between the Arab community, those that are willing to negotiate with us, that is the surest direction to peace. Statements that are made outside of that may not be helpful. And in fact, it may
Let's
be
get to the
counterproductive
audience
in the
questions.
process.
Thank you, Mr. Latimer. Congressman, let's take some questions now from the rising tensions that we've especially seen on our local college campuses, which have led to canceled classes, commencements, hundreds of arrests. Our first question comes from Janet.
Here's the first question.
She is a legal search consultant from Scarsdale, and she has a question on some of the language that's being used at the protest.
Hit us with it, Puddin'.
Janet,
What's your
thank
question?
you for joining us. What is your question, please?
This is for both candidates. Do you consider the phrase "from the river to the sea" hate speech and or advocating for the eradication of the state of Israel?
Congressman Bowman, let's get your take.
I know some do, others don't. I do not.
Not hate speech.
County Executive Latimer?
I think it is hate speech because I think
Thank
it's
you.
clear that from the river to the sea has meant specifically the eradication of the Jewish population from the land of Israel.
That's correct.
Now, it may be that there are young people who are parroting the phrase because they hear it, they've seen it on the internet. You might ask them what river, what sea, and they can't answer that.
That's for
but
sure.
What's behind the marketing campaign that's being advanced is to try to delegitimize Israel. And that there be a free Palestine is
there we go.
Is it? I'm glad we ended there because that was important to hear that part. Okay, so one of them had a little bit of common sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, certainly not Jamal Bowman.
Ugh.
The worst.
Boy,
he'll probably win it again.
Such an easy softball question, too.
I know.
Is it hate speech?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Next question.
Yes, it is, by the way. And they have a right to say it.
Yeah, you know what? You could add to it. You could say, I think it's kind of interesting that the people who are accusing Israel of genocide are the ones advocating it by using that phrase.
Yeah. Right.
Next question.
Interesting, too, that Bowman said, well, some people do, some people don't. Well, yeah. Isn't that the case on every single issue?
We're asking you, bro.
Yeah. I mean, everybody. Yeah, anything you bring up is going to fall into that category. Well, some people do, some people don't. At least you did clarify, took a stand there. He doesn't think it's genocidal, doesn't think it's hate speech. Meantime, you want to hear something funny? Here's what Jake Sullivan said yesterday.
Oh, I like comedy.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
Where's the laugh track?
Oh,
we gotta play that again.
Oh, my God.
Get ready, Joe.
Oh, my God.
Play it again, Sam.
Wow.
Play it again. Oh, wait for the laugh track, then play it again.
Yeah. Where is my... Come on.
Oh, no.
Certainly I
No,
have.
sir.
Oh, no. Okay. It's unbelievable.
We'll find it for you.
All right,
Eventually.
go ahead.
Oh, you got it.
Go ahead.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
That's not a laugh track.
No,
That's closest I got. All right. Or I have this shorter version. It's a little golf clap. No.
No.
Where? I'm sure I have
Heartbroken.
a laugh track in here, but I cannot find it.
Okay. Well.
Wow, that's unconscionable. You don't have a laugh thing in there, Chris? See if you have a, is it audience? Maybe I'm just not labeling it right. Yeah. See, that's the problem with this. It's so old, this machine, that you have to type in the exact name, and if you don't, it won't.
Wait, how did you spell laugh over there?
L-A-U-G-H.
No, it's L-A-F-F.
Is it?
I think it's L-A-F-F.
All right, let's see. Nope. No, it isn't.
All right, play it again, Joe. Let's see if this one works.
All right.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
Okay. Not the best, but not bad. That's not bad. You know what I do have is... all right, play it again, Sam. Oh.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
Okay, never mind. I thought I had something there, but I don't have that either.
Hold on, let's see what this one is.
Okay, not bad.
Okay, play it again, Joe.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
We're going to get this right. All right, we got there, Ish.
Yeah, you're right about ish. All right, play it one more time. Hit it, Joe.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
We got there. I think it's what I had just right there.
That's really close, yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah. So there. Okay. I hope y'all enjoyed that. We got
Long way to the west.
Oh, yeah. Please. You got Donald Trump, who moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, who supported Israel every step of the way.
Yeah.
Who made sure that this didn't happen under his watch.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's been stronger in their support. Come on.
And
you're giving them ultimatums and quid pro quo things to go by before they get their weaponry.
Oh, hang on. You just reminded me.
Asinine.
I saw a story where right before he did that threat, he did some deal with a bunch of Arab countries. Here we go. Yeah. Biden administration granted sanctions relief to Arab nations just before president's Israel aid threat. I mean,
my gosh.
Don't you dare tell me that Joe Biden is more of a friend to Israel than any president, especially like you just said, Donald Trump, when there's a story that completely flew below the radar when Ireland said, you know what, we're going to totally divest from having anything to do with Israel and all this stuff. And Trump's like...
He put the hammer down.
Okay. Probably don't want to do that because then that's going to affect your relationship with us.
Yeah, no aid to you from the United States of America.
No one would have even
known
known
what you're
that
do.
if he had just let that go.
Incredible. I mean, just incredible. But the lies that these people tell while looking directly in our face and just flat out lying, I am not here. Well, yeah, you are. You're looking right at me. You're sitting 3 feet from me. No, I am not here. It's just like the CNN interview the other day with Aaron Burnett. My gosh. CNN's getting a little bit of flack from that because they didn't challenge him at all. They didn't fact check him in the least when he said, well, here was one of the things he said.
Bringing down inflation was 9% when I came to office.
9%?
9%. But people have...
Shut up. 9%. How, as a supposed journalist, do you allow him to sit there and lie to you when you know that's a flat-out lie, right in your face, over and over again? But especially, and because it's so easily disproved, you got to challenge the inflation lie. The rate was 9% when you took office? No, it was 1.4%. She just flat out let him get away with it. She should have been packing up her desk and leaving the building permanently after that interview. What a sorry excuse for a journalist. But, they do this really well. They have no shame. They'll sit there and lie to your face when they know it's not true, and when they know you know it isn't true, and when they know the American people know it's not true. They do it anyway. We'll see if this tactic works when November rolls around, but I hope and pray it doesn't. Meanwhile, here was that strong supporter of Israel. Nobody supports Israel more than Joe Biden, greeting a group of students, Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders, right? Or the NHP.
Yeah, that's
NHPI.
Yeah.
NHPI.
All right, here we go. All right, NHPI. All right, here we go.
It matters now nearly 40% of NHPI students rely on Pell Grants to get to college.
All right, we need to play that again because I need to write this down.
Okay, the NHPI, frankly, I've never heard of them referred to like that either, but you're reading it. Dude, you're looking at it. Why? Why can't you say the letters, the numbers, whatever it is, written right in front of you? Why can't you do it? NHPI, the NAACP, the NCAA.
What was it again, Joe? What was it?
The NRA. All right, the NHPI.
It matters now nearly 40% of NHPI students rely on Pell Grants to get to college.
Wow.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, no, nobody knows.
Got all that? It was the NAAHNANHPI.
So what does that actually stand for then, Keith, if you could tell us?
It matters now nearly 40% of NHPI students rely on Pell Grants to get to college.
Wait, I missed an NAH. Okay, so there we go. It's the National Association of American Hawaiians.
Right.
Needing another
ham?
Aid. Needing aid.
Oh, needing aid.
New Hampshire.
Okay.
Pacific Islanders. You knew this. You didn't need me to tell you that.
No, I didn't. I just wanted to see if you knew it.
Let's see if okay.
It matters now nearly 40% of NHPI students rely on
there
Pell
it
Grants
is.
to get to college.
You nailed it.
He sucks so much.
Oh my gosh.
God.
So what you're telling me that he saw that on the teleprompter?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the NAAHNANHPI. So, just in case you're scoring at home, that's what he's referring to.
That's rough, man.
Well, it's too long an acronym. Okay? Just say the name.
No. Actually, hold on.
Yeah.
Because a year ago we sat here and we played him screwing up the whole thing, the Native Hawaiian Pacific Islanders. He screwed that up. So they thought they were making it simpler for him this year with the NHPI. That's what happened. Oh, my gosh. That's what happened.
And he still couldn't do it.
Man, he is the worst.
He also mentioned the vice president as well.
My name's Joe Biden. I work for Kamala Harris. I asked her to be my vice president, but I knew I needed somebody smarter than me.
Oh, you could have picked anyone for
I
that.
keep forgetting I'm president.
If that's the requirement, man, throw a rock in the air.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Wow. But he thinks he's so charming and so funny and self-deprecating, and everything he says just elicits that charm and the humor that is just jam-packed inside of him. It's got to come out. It's got to come out by either doing that or saying somewhere within the speech, don't jump, because that is so charming. Talking about people committing suicide. People love that. They love that, especially if you've ever had a loved one who happens to
jumped.
have... Yeah.
Don't jump.
Wow. And speaking of Kamala, here she is yesterday with some life advice.
It is as Alicia said, my mother would say to me, don't you ever let anybody tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Wow.
Don't ever carry as a personal burden your capacity to do whatever you dream and aspire to do based on other people's limited ability to see who can do what.
Right.
This is part of what's involved.
Yeah.
Is that we have to know that sometimes people will open the door for you and leave it open. Sometimes they won't.
Okay.
And then you need to kick that door down.
Again, so charming. Isn't that beautiful?
Excuse my language.
Because that just slipped out, you know? It was just totally impromptu. Ugh. She's agonizing.
I thought she was going to go to this.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah,
the significance of the passage of time.
Right.
So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time. When we think about a day in the life of our children.
In terms of a day in the life of the passage of time, in those terms, you know. But also that we can go into the future unburdened by what happened in the past, or whatever that thing is.
Or what has been.
What has been.
Yeah. And
what will be.
And mix in a Venn diagram while you're at it.
Uh-huh. And a yellow bus, because those are... Who doesn't love a yellow bus? And here she is talking about guns, too. Boy. She's a big... I think we all know she's a big proponent of the Second Amendment.
Boy.
I'm in favor of the Second Amendment.
Oh, sure.
And I believe we need an assault weapons ban. We need universal background checks. We need red flag laws.
Then you're not in favor. You're not a supporter of the Second Amendment. You know what the Second Amendment says? The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And then you're talking about infringing it.
What?
Oh, man.
Again.
Oh, man.
Just a follow-up with any of these Democrats. What's an assault weapon?
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Or ask Mike Bloomberg. You know, the ones that go, duh, 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 duh. There it is.
Vision
the
and
legal
a belief
definition.
and some faith in what can be unburdened by what has been.
What has been. There it is.
So we need to ban assault weapons. We need red flag laws. We need universal background checks. But I'm pro Second Amendment.
Yeah. I mean, we already have, for the most part, the vast majority of gun purchases.
Right.
You do have to get the background check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost unavoidable. I think there's one. It's like if I sold my guns, if I still had them, of course they fell into that body of water long ago. But let's say I retrieved them. I remember someday where they fell into, and I go diving, and I've got scuba gear, and I retrieve my weapon from the bottom of that body of water. I probably couldn't do it anyway because it's so deep. I remember it just being really, really deep. Anyway. Let's say I have a gun and I sell it to my son. He doesn't need a background check. How are you going to do that? Like I can't give my weapon to my son or daughter or whomever I want? No, I guess not.
Well,
I don't know how you do background checks on that.
No, and then they also like to say, well, you can buy a gun on the internet. Well, yeah, but it gets delivered to an FFL dealer and you have to go and pick it up and do the background check there. You can't just buy a gun on the internet and it just shows up at your house.
I love those misleading. Well, they're more than misleading. They're lies. When they throw that out, they know the rule. So, oh man,
I know they know.
Oh man,
but they just hope that you don't.
Yep.
And that's the way every liberal policy is.
Yep.
You know, I'm just resisting. What am I resisting? I don't know. The collectivization of manufacture, the institutionalization of the human psyche. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just know that I can print guns on a machine, and you can't take that right from me. How about that?
Pat Gray Unleashed.
imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
Okay. You have that now? Hope so, because it's critical to our survival and our future. Got some tweets here. MAGA Baker tweets, "Don't forget to burp your podium to maintain freshness."
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Old-timers reference. Thinking man's reference and an old-timer. That's good. Because, see, it's Tupperware, and that's the thing. You burp the Tupperware, the air comes out, and then it stays fresh.
Now you're ready for your press conference.
Great. Lone Wolf 2965, does anything scream anti-fascist louder than attacking Jews and people who support the Jews? No, that's a good point. KJP's blinker fluid, which is so important. I mean, she must have like an entire case wherever she goes to make sure that she's lubricated enough to continue the blinking process. First, there's Ukraine flags everywhere. Now Palestinian flags are going up everywhere. What's next? Chinese flags? Would not surprise me. Yeah,
right.
Wouldn't surprise me.
We already did Chinese flag in California when they came to visit.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
That's correct.
How about Minnesota? They have a new flag, and Chris sent in this video of Governor Tim Walz introducing that new flag that we told you was coming, and it looks very suspiciously familiar. But first, here's the introduction.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, gosh, don't.
Such a boomer.
I know.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Put it in.
All right.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Looks good, Tim.
Way to go.
There, that's better.
Oh, so much better. And if you're wondering, why it looks familiar, it's because, as we pointed out, it's representative of many Somalian states within that country over in Africa. And if you'll note, the large influx of the Somali population in Minnesota as of late, I don't think it's a coincidence.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
The Minnesota flag now
This is embarrassing.
looks like the Somali flags that we just showed you.
That's a redesign, right?
Yes.
They just redid their flag to look like Somalia's.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, that's our theory, but I think it's right.
I think it's absolutely right.
It's
there. That's
there's
better.
no doubt
I'd
it's
love
right.
to see. Yeah, put those flags back up. I'd love to see where this whole push to change their flag began.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting.
I thought it'd be more difficult to change a flag. Don't you have to like register with the government or something? I thought it would be like more difficult than now we have a Somali flag.
Yeah.
Is
Apparently we leave that up to the states. Maybe we shouldn't have.
I forgot how Minnesota changed theirs. I can't remember if that was the legislature or the people. I do recall that in Georgia it was the people that voted for that to get rid of the Confederate flag. I think that was a vote of the people, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, there you go. Congratulations.
It feels illegal.
To Minnesota.
I'm sorry, but it feels illegal. It feels illegal.
It's definitely wrong. I mean, it's just the catering, the pandering to that segment of the society in Minnesota. It's really amazing. And why'd that happen? You ever sat and wondered why all of these Somali refugees in Minnesota? How did that happen? You couldn't ask for a more different climate.
Right.
Different place, different ideas, different ideology, different everything.
Well, that's where that were chosen, I think, by the Obama administration as to where we're going to fly the refugees. Yeah.
Okay, well, and it's interesting because it is different, but they're trying desperately to make it the same. If you left Somalia to come here and change this into Somalia, why did you leave in the first place? Stay in Somalia.
Yeah. Elon Omar, representative, literally, of that community. Have we confirmed, has anyone, because I don't watch Minnesota Twins home games, just their road games. No, I haven't watched their home games to see if you can hear that prayer call when they play at the same time, off in the distance.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, my goodness. You're out there in right field on a quiet Wednesday afternoon, getaway day.
It's great.
A day game, and all of a sudden you hear, Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, you're saying you would love that.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to experience that.
Right. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? And the thing is, I don't want to have to go clear to the Middle East.
Thank you.
In order to experience it. I want to hear it here every single day, 5 times a day. Or 7, or whatever it is. Meanwhile, California has some interesting financial problems. They did have a massive surplus, which is now turned into a massive deficit in just a matter of a couple of years. And Gavin Newsom, the governor, wants us to know it's because of rain.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was asked about it yesterday, surprisingly. Here's what he had to say.
Can we explain to Californians how we moved from a $100 billion surplus to such a significant deficit in just a matter of a few years?
Well, it's, we can explain it. $349 billion of unprecedented capital gains, 11.6%, when traditional capital gains is around 5.18% on average. It's almost double. So you had massive volatility. You have requirements under Prop 2, the GAN. You have requirements under Prop 98, which require that set aside. We use 93% of our surplus.
Too much math.
Which is, I want to be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
Of what?
Either on the higher end or without precedent for one-time purposes. So we anticipated, because we didn't want that surplus to go to ongoing commitments. We anticipated that shortfall. Yeah. What we didn't anticipate is these rain bombs.
The rain bombs.
January, February,
oh,
March.
That'll ruin your economy.
Rivers.
Yeah.
That
atmospheric
led
rivers,
to
rain bombs.
A federal declaration that led to FEMA and the IRS moving in a direction where we couldn't collect our taxes until, I believe, November 16th.
Yeah,
that was because of a rain bomb?
Yeah. As opposed to April 15th. And so
it was raining too hard to collect taxes. Can't do it.
Blackout
not the rain.
That,
Come on.
Beguiled all of us.
Oh, it beguiled all of us.
It beguiled them. The rain bomb was so bad that it beguiled them.
Got his word of the day in. Nice job.
Wow.
I want to introduce a new picture. Go for it, Joe.
Okay.
This is every time I see him on the screen, this is what I see.
Okay. Yeah, but where's the rain bomb?
Yeah, where's the
Why do you know
to put out the fires behind him?
I'll have to add that to my list now because now I have to put rain bombs on his background.
My goodness.
Okay. When did rain, a heavy rain, like a thunderstorm, when did that become a rain bomb? Is that something that you ever heard before? I don't know, just the last couple years at the most. I never heard of a rain bomb before. Or atmospheric rivers. Yep. Polar vortex. Or vortices.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the polar vortices.
Cap tip to you.
Right? Thank you. I know my plural words. Anatomy of a rain bomb. Scientists are striving to understand the phenomenon. And so I'm struggling to understand it as well. I just have to know where this came from. Everything that's happening now has to be made into something that's unprecedented.
Yes.
We've never had rain bombs before. Yes, it's rained, but not like this. Not in the form of a bomb.
Well, I think Rowdy Introvert actually found the genesis of that phrase when he sent us this clip yesterday of Al Gore from a year ago.
Oh, good.
We're still putting 162 million tons into it every single day. And the accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released by 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth. That's what's boiling the oceans.
Pause it for a second. Go back again.
I know, man.
Let's start from the beginning, because what? What? Oh, my gosh. This is incredible. All right, listen to it from the top. Here we go.
We're still putting 162 million tons into it every single day. And the accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released by 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth. That's what's boiling the oceans, creating these atmospheric rivers and the rain bombs and sucking the moisture out of the land and creating the droughts and melting the ice and raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. Look at the xenophobia and political...
I love the predicted catastrophes that they throw in every single time to pad their their hysteria. Wait, you can't get away with that. Where do you get that a billion climate refugees are going to happen? You don't know that. You can't just use that and throw it out. Yet they do every single time.
Well, I mean, they open the borders.
My gosh.
They encourage the third world to invade the Western world, and they call it climate refugees.
Yes, and that may happen. Also, monkeys may fly out my butt. That's about an equal. In fact, it's more likely monkeys are going to fly out my butt than a billion climate refugees happen before the end of the century.
I love how you're glossing over that. Dang it. A heat wave.
Yeah, right.
Equals now 600,000 Hiroshima bombs.
I love it when he gets into this mode.
He betrayed this country.
That's right. He played on our fears. That's what he did. He betrayed this country. He played on our fears. He brought about rain bombs. I love it when he gets excited like this. It's my favorite Al Gore.
Can't stop his angry lisp.
Here he is with more.
Raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about a billion?
What about a billion, Al? That's an incredible number. That's incredible.
You know what? Just read me some poetry, Al. Calm down. I'm serious. I miss that, Al. I miss the calm, soothing, second chakra release, Al.
You're right. I know, because it just flows better.
One thin September soon, a floating continent disappears in midnight sun. Vapors rise as fever settles on an acid sea. Neptune's bones dissolve.
Neptune's bones dissolve. That's bad. The sea is so acidic that his bones dissolve. Think about that.
Snow glides from the mountain.
It does.
Ice fathers floods
for a season.
Hard rain comes quickly.
Hard rain bombs, in fact, come quickly.
Al?
Yeah?
Could you possibly, I hate to put you on the spot, but could you possibly read us some poetry mixing in some of the verbiage that you just yelled at us?
Yes, but first of all, let me finish this beautiful poem that I wrote myself, Keith.
Then dirt is parched. Kindling is placed in the forest for the lightning celebration. Unknown creatures take their leave unmourned. Horsemen ready their stirrups.
Right.
Passion seeks heroes and friends. The bell of the city on the hill is rung. The shepherd cries. The hour of choosing has arrived. Here are your tools.
Here are your tools. Wow.
I'm so glad you read that. I'm very happy.
We all were.
I'm happy to hear it in your voice.
Asking me. That was beautiful. Harry, I'm always happy to do that for you. I'm always happy that you're pandering to us and to my beautiful poetry. Thank you so much for allowing me to present this poem bomb. This wasn't a bomb until I actually said it on the air live, and that made it bomb. Anyway, I got things to do right now, so let me tell you about something that is truly important and something that really is catastrophic, and that's abortion in this country. Do you know that after Roe v. Wade was done away with, the abortion rate actually went up? We had the most abortions last year, over 1 million of them, since 2012. We need to cleanse our country of this horrific stain on our conscience. The Ministry of Preborn is here to empower young expectant mothers in crisis to choose life. They do that through ultrasounds. They show the expectant mother in ultrasound, and much of the time that changes their mind. Much of the time, even though they've been pressured and they're confused and they're scared, they're worried that they can't do this, Preborn shows them, okay, this is human life, and we will be there for you once you have that baby, once you give birth to the baby, we're going to be there to help you with diapers and baby formula and baby food and support. And it makes a huge difference. That's why we're proud to be affiliated with Preborn. They do such great work. $28 buys an ultrasound. $144 will buy 5. Maybe you can support a woman every month for a year with $28 donations for a year. Whatever you can do, greatly appreciated. To donate, dial pound 250. Say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
A heat wave like 600,000 Hiroshima bombs falls on our heads and sweat drips down our noses. Soon we will all be dead as rain bombs explode. Here come the climate refugees. I am a tool. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy that I could do that for you, Harry.
That was
so happy. Beautiful. Was it
so wonderful to hear that
in
your voice?
Did it actually turn you on and get your third chakra working? I bet it did.
Thank you.
Enough said. Enough said.
Wow.
So rain bombs.
What an absurd world.
Oh my gosh. You can't keep up with this climate BS. It's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm going to say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Has the Earth warmed 0.9 degrees? Yes. Yes. In 100 years, we've gone up less than a degree Celsius.
Do you remember when they said Lake Mead was about to vanish in the American Southwest? Well,
yeah.
Here's CBS News headline: Colorado River might recover from two-decade drought. Biden.
Yeah, the
Put it back up
drought.
there, man. I'm trying to read it. 2-decade drought thanks to precipitation. Pat, rain stopped the drought. It overcame the climate change.
Huh. Well, yeah, that's because we stopped driving SUVs, right? If that we got rid of the SUVs and went all electric, except for no, that didn't happen.
So there you go.
Jobs.
The way you fix a drought is you get rain. Who knew that? A CBS News cracked the code.
Who knew?
We overcame climate change with rain.
Rain.
Probably bombs.
That's great.
Probably rain bombs did it.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets here. Not a spooky dude tweets. Well, it looks like Joe failed at getting someone smarter than he is by picking Kamala. What do you mean? What?
Ukraine is a country in Europe.
Right. Biden couldn't say that. He doesn't know that. He has no idea. Carol remarks, Kamala sounding all insurrection-y with that talk of kicking doors down.
Yeah.
From Kathy Abell, you should have used Kamala's laugh track for the Joe Biden Israel comment.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
No.
That works, yeah. Good job.
I like it. One more time.
Team effort.
No president has stood stronger with Israel than Joe Biden.
Okay, I can first.
Little accentuation there. I just double-tracked that.
I see.
From DMXDM, man, Gavin is looking and sounding more and more like 30 years ago Joe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have some just really disturbing body cam footage from Florida where a deputy shot and killed a senior airman, Roger Fortson, when he answered the door. Do we know why the deputy was there in the first place?
Yeah.
Some neighbor heard noise
this
or something?
is a 3-minute video, and it sets it up with the neighbors talking to the officer.
Check this out.
Okay. I don't know what clip it is there, Joe. I don't see it on here. Well, I don't see it.
Do we not have it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not seeing it here.
You see, I'm kind of scanning as well, and it doesn't seem to be.
Okay. Wow. So, you know what? Honestly, we don't really need the video because we have some still pictures here that are just as heartbreaking. I mean, there is the young man honorably serving his nation. And the neighbors say, hey, we're hearing some yelling and the B word. And we think that this is a spousal abuse situation, domestic abuse. So the deputy goes up to the door, knocks on it, and then, kind of stands around the corner there. And so when the airman looks out the peephole, he doesn't see anybody. Now, the officer finally does announce who he is, but at that point, Fortson is gone to get his handgun like he should. And he answers the door. Now, you'll notice, as soon as the door opens, the video would have shown this. As soon as it opens,
he puts his hand up.
Hand up.
Oh, I didn't know it was an officer.
Doesn't even blink. You can see that the finger is not on the trigger. Mm-hmm. His hand is up, like, oh, wait, you're a law enforcement officer. I'll show you respect here, and I won't use this gun. Doesn't even have a chance to react. There was no drop the gun. There was just immediate shooting. This is bad.
Shot him 5 times or something, right? Killed him. Really sad.
Yep.
Really, really sad. Just tragic.
So, this is bad, man. This is just, he was in his own home, minding his own business, answers the door like any of us should be expected to when you hear someone. I mean.
Yeah, and then they're not there when you look through your peephole.
And that was the one thing that I saw from the video was that you cannot see the officer through the peephole. Am I going to open the door when someone is banging at it in the middle of the night?
He bangs on the door, and then he kind of gets the position here based on the way the body cam turns, and now you're looking this way.
Dang.
So when Roger's looking out, he sees nothing.
Which is understanding why the cop did it, because that's the tunnel of death, basically what they call it, when you stay directly in front of the door.
Right. No, and I figured
so
that
I
much.
get it.
But seriously.
Police! Hello?
Yeah. Isn't there training involved?
Yes.
Where you don't just shoot somebody 5 times when they put their hand up? It's too bad. That's really a shame.
And it's police week this week, so.
It's police week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by the way, do we have the picture of the... by all accounts, the guy was such a great person. Thank you for putting that up. It's him with his young sister, and he bought her a flight suit because she wanted to be just like him.
Oh, man.
And, that is a beautiful picture, and it's just absolutely
really
heartbreaking. Sad. His mom obviously is beside herself, and understandably so.
Is he married? Is that who he was? No? Was it his
girlfriend? He was actually FaceTiming with his girlfriend when this happened, and so that
she wasn't even there.
Part of the evidence that they're gonna show. Yeah. But he was home alone, I'm hearing conflicting things, like it was a wrong house, it was a wrong whatever.
That's what I'm hearing.
But I heard the lady that received the officer on the scene. She said 1401, and you can see from the body cam it is 1401. So I don't understand that.
So obviously, though, there wasn't a domestic abuse in progress. So
could have been the TV guys.
Yeah. That's always a dangerous situation when you walk into a domestic abuse incident for the cops. And I'm sure, there's heightened nerves and whatever. But again, use your training. Jeez, really sad. San Francisco just slammed for $5 million a year program to give free alcohol to the homeless.
I love
epic.
this story.
This is San Francisco. This is a liberal city in a nutshell.
Now, some of the officials are this isn't working. What?
Well, actually, no. It's what is it? A CEO, some company.
Oh, Adam Nathan, founder and CEO of a small business, posted a thread on X slamming the program after watching a string of unhoused drunks line up for their shots, stating it just doesn't feel right.
Doesn't feel right.
Do you know San Francisco spends $2 million a year on a managed alcohol program? It provides free alcohol to people struggling with chronic alcoholism who are mostly harmless or homeless. No, They're not harmless.
They're hobos. They're hobos.
Yes, they're hobos. So you're going to give free alcohol to alcoholics? Is that the plan? That doesn't. I think he's right. It doesn't seem reasonable.
Okay, but are you a government
I'm
official?
not. No, I am not. Nor am I a medical professional.
Thank you.
His estimate was actually just 40% of the total cost. The 4-year-old managed alcohol program actually costs $5 million a year.
Okay, I'm going to write this down. $5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Keep going.
The program, as described by the Chronicle, sees nurses dispense controlled doses of vodka and beer to street people at specific times of the day. Oh, that's nice.
It's like feeding
that's
time.
Nice.
Ding, 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 ding. Come get your vodka and beer. Man, I want to be homeless.
Well, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Intended to keep the homeless off the streets and out of jail or the emergency room. What a great way to do it. It's run out of a former hotel in the city's Tenderloin district.
Whoa. Okay.
The program started with 10 beds. It's grown to 20. Over the 4 years, it has served... Okay, so 4 years at $5 million a year.
Okay.
That's only $20 million they're spending on this. It served 65 clients in total with the goal of keeping the participants out of the ER and reducing calls to cops.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
Free alcohol, free vodka,
65
and beer.
Total customers.
Yes.
Or people they're helping.
Okay. Yeah. That have received $20 million in free alcohol.
Hold on. So, hold on. In 4 years, so that's 13 people that they help a year? 13 times 4? Mm-hmm. Right? Or you do the math. Somebody smart.
No, I think that's right.
Okay, whatever. So we're at, first of all, why do they have 20 beds if they've only helped 13 a year?
I think you could sleep it off. I think the beds are for you to sleep it off.
But they went from 10 to 20 beds, but they only have 13. Anyway, so just doing some quick math here, that's $385,000 in booze per client per year.
I want that contract.
That's not.
Wait.
That's what I want.
I smell money laundering.
Yeah, I want that contract.
$385,000 per customer, per client.
A year?
A year. Stop it. Nobody's drinking that much vodka and beer that's not named Nancy Pelosi.
Well, if you just divide the $5 million or $20 million because it's 4 years now. So $20 million divided by 65 clients, you got $307,692 per person.
Okay. That's similar to my $385, yeah.
That's a government program right there.
That is a government program.
That's a perfect government program. Congratulations, San Francisco. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing.
Adam Nathan guy, how could he possibly say that doesn't seem like it's working?
He's a hater. He's obviously a hating hater who hates.
Is this the same state that did the crack cocaine?
Yeah.
They gave away free crack cocaine?
Yeah, the crack pipes.
That's a good idea, too.
So you got crack pipes, crack, vodka, beer, a free bed.
Love it.
What else do you need?
Poop
Nothing.
on the streets.
Poop on the street? You don't need a toilet?
Got plenty of that.
Now you got a good time, San Francisco.
You got a city that's on the incline. That's for sure, man. They're coming up in the world. It's just getting to be a classier place by the day. Across the country, though, recently in North Carolina, a student used the hateful term.
Oh, no. Can we say this on the... Are you... Well, hey, hang on. Time out.
We're on delay, so I'm ready. Yeah,
that's what I want to clarify.
Yeah.
Illegal alien.
Wait, what did he say?
Illegal alien.
The kid used the phrase illegal alien?
In a report, In a report, he put that down.
He put that down? Was he quoting President Bill Clinton, who used that same phrase in a State of the Union speech?
I'm not sure he attributed the quote.
Okay.
So that's why
there's your problem right there. There's your problem. His mom recently defended her son at a school board meeting. Here's how that went down.
Y'all remember me telling you the story about Christian, the 16-year-old student at Central Davidson High School in Lexington, North Carolina. He was suspended for 3 days for using the term illegal alien with a green card as an English assignment for vocabulary because it was considered racism. Well, I thought you'd like to hear what happened when his mother
I would like to.
addressed
Pat
the school
literally
board.
just said this, lady.
On April 9th,
She not paying attention or
received
what?
a write-up stating that he violated a Board of Education policy by using or making a racially motivated comment saying
Pause
that
it.
an alien...
Wait a minute. What race are illegal aliens? Because they can come from anywhere. They can come from Norway. A lot of Norwegian refugees that wind up on our shores illegally are white. Jeez. All right, let's hear the rest.
Policy by using or making a racially motivated comment saying that an alien needs a green card. Board, there is nothing inappropriate about saying aliens need green cards, and there certainly isn't a case for racism due to the fact that alien is not a race.
Thank you.
Per the board's policies found on your website, this board has control and authority over all public schools in Davidson County, including Central High. This board's policies do not prevent students from using the word alien, illegal alien, green card, nor does it state that these words are racially insensitive or abusive. I cannot appeal this suspension since it is less than 10 days. Racism is only a 3-day suspension with no appeal when it should be a top-tier punishment. After no resolution, I emailed Alan Beck and Nicholas Jarvis asking for help. These emails remain unanswered to this day, 4 weeks later. However, 2 board members did choose to send messages to county leaders and residents with my personal arrest record from 14 years ago and encouraged them to post this on social media. These posts were sent around my child's school. 2 members of this board, too busy to hear a mother's cry, yet not too busy to assault her character and one more attempt to hurt her child. 14 years ago, I was arrested for possession of pain medication, sentenced to 6 years, served 4, then released early, successfully reintegrating into society. I was since appointed by a Superior Court judge in Brunswick County, North Carolina, to serve on an advisory board for their commissioners. I held that seat for years until I moved to Davidson County. I am nationally accredited with the Encompass Program of America and have spoken publicly over 30 times in many states regarding addiction. However, Chairman Beck and Ashley Carroll chose not to include that in the text that they shared. Through your reckless attempt to slander my name, you have successfully re-traumatized my family. Your weak attempt to assault my character has failed. But your malicious character has been highlighted. It is my opinion that 2 members on this board are highly corrupt. I request corrective action be taken to remove you both in order to protect all children and families of this county. Thank you for letting me share.
No. Thank you. That's great. Wow, there was a lot there.
Yeah.
First of all, she went to prison for having possession of pharmaceuticals, like a pain medication. She went to prison for 4 years.
Sentenced to 6.
My gosh, that's really something. Wow. You had nothing better to do in North Carolina? That's amazing.
If you hear about where this recall goes for these 2 members, please clue us in, keep us updated on that.
Yeah, I hope that's successful because that's outrageous. Good for her for sticking up for herself. Yep. Really nicely done. Are you being lied to? Of course, the answer is yes. Wall Street tells you if you follow their investment advice, you'll retire in a lower tax bracket. Yet, a lot of retirees who follow their advice are finding themselves in the highest tax bracket of their lives. But there's another way. It's called Bank on Yourself, and it's a better way to grow and protect your hard-earned money. This retirement plan is an alternative to all the stuff that you already know about. It's never had a losing year in over 160 years. It's guaranteed predictable growth and retirement income. With Bank on Yourself, your plan doesn't go backward ever. When the markets tumble, your principal and your growth are both locked in. So it becomes tax-free retirement income. You'll know what your tax rate will be in retirement. It will be zero under the current tax law, which protects you from the coming tax tsunami. You are in control. You get access to your money for any purpose with no questions asked and without government penalties or restrictions on how much income you can take or when you can take it. Try doing that with your 401k or your IRA. Well, you can't. So you might as well not try. This is the strategy that famous businesses like McDonald's have used, and almost anybody can do it. If you want guaranteed, predictable annual growth, control of your money, and tax-free retirement income, go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed. We'll send you a free report with the proven retirement plan alternative that banks and Wall Street are desperately hoping you never hear about. However, you just did. So do something about it. Go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed. Get your free report, bankonyourself.com/unleashed.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Nance came up to me as I walked in and said, "Joey," and he grabbed my cheek. He said, "Joey, baby."
Wow, that's great. That's great stuff. Powerful, riveting story. We've only heard it, 30 or 40 times, and I could hear it, every day, just like Don't Jump. It tickles me every single time. Doesn't it you?
Wait, it tickles you?
It tickles me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get tickled. Let's also clarify on the bingo, because we had bingo yesterday, and because it happened so early in the week, we're going to do 2 this week. But the second bingo doesn't occur until all the squares are covered. Okay, so that's the next bingo that will happen. The whole board has to be in use.
Okay,
because we already have a bingo on the bottom line. Just to give you a little hint there.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
oh wow!
We got a full bingo right there, but that doesn't count because
I missed the.
Now we're looking for the full card.
Okay, so you're saying the bottom row is covered. I guess
that's what I'm saying.
I guess I'm behind here too.
I think you are.
Okay.
Did you see Jen Psaki's got a new book coming out?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
It's about time.
Can't wait.
I've had this on my
Can't wait to read it.
calendar, probably.
Oh, man. You probably?
Yeah, I probably had it on my calendar.
You don't know for sure if it was on your calendar?
I probably had it on there.
Come on, it's a Jen Psaki book.
I know. That's why I probably had it on there. Because I wanted to know. What day did it come out?
One of these days.
Yeah, I probably had it on one of those days you're talking about.
Yeah. One of these days it came out or comes out, one of the two. And
the worst.
One anecdote in the book getting a little extra scrutiny because she lied through her commie teeth, as they always do.
Wait, did she kill a dog?
No, she did not kill a dog.
Sorry,
that we know of. She may have and just decided not to tell the story, which was really wise on her part.
But she lied, huh?
Yeah, she did lie. Well, during the whole controversy about Joe Biden checking his watch, during when the troops came back in caskets, and he's at the ceremony, the families are there, and he keeps looking at his watch. And her thing was, he didn't really do that. He didn't do that until after the ceremony was over. Well, no. And that's what she wrote in the book, that he waited until the ceremony was over to check his watch. He actually checked it, 3 times, is what we heard from one of the fathers.
Yeah.
And they were pissed, and rightfully so. What do you got? Somewhere to be? I mean, are we bothering you here?
Yeah, remember the one dad who showed up at Congress said it's 2:30.
Yeah. He wanted to yell that at him, so he'd stop checking his watch. So she had to go back to the book because it's been proven he checked his watch during the ceremony. She had to go back into the book and change it.
Yeah, because the book already came out on May 8th.
That's what I said. It came out on the day
that's what we were talking about. May 8th it came out. And
it's on your calendar. Do you have on your calendar, Keith?
He's got it right there.
You highlight May 22nd. She's going to be here in Houston, Texas.
Wow. Signing the book?
Signing the book with Ronan O'Malley, so you could get your ticket today.
Can we camp out in advance?
It's already there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like we're already there. We got some people standing by.
So is it fair to say, Pat, that Jen Psaki is a lying sack? Tell me that.
I would say it is very fair to call her a lying sack.
Okay.
Yep.
Why would you say that?
Well, in all of these Biden administration officials, current, former, future, they're all out to lunch and they're not coming home for dinner.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, not only are they lying sacks, but...
I'm running out of highlighter ink over here.
I don't know why. That's weird.
A calendar. I was doing the book
May
calendar
22nd.
thing.
Yeah. Houston, yeah.
In May 8th. I mean,
Okay.
it was already on May 8th.
Well, I feel sorry for people who don't already have a copy of her book in advance. Well, of course, it's not even advanced now.
Right.
But...
Well, you might want more.
I mean, some of us have read it twice already and plan to do a third reading just so we can really ingest it all.
I would be willing to bet
there's a lot
isn't
there.
a human being in America that has read that book twice. There might only be a handful that's read it once.
I wonder if close family members maybe have read it at all.
Just to see if they're mentioned in it.
Peter
Not
read
because
it.
they care.
Peter Ducey read it.
Ducey read it.
He read it. He wanted to make
Jen,
sure.
I miss you.
Yes.
I bet that's.
I miss her compared to this particular spokesperson.
I mean, this is the Overton window administration right here. I mean, this administration makes Obama look good.
It's been a devastation.
Devastation. She got that part right. Good for her. All right, 888-900-3393. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to talk to Steve Baker. More developments on that front. You won't believe the things the FBI knows about him and investigates on him. Fascinating. Wow. We'll get into that with Steve Baker and lots more coming up.
I don't have any intelligence.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So Joe Biden is on the offensive again. He's on the campaign trail every day because he's trying to take advantage of this time when Donald Trump can't campaign because he's in court, tied up in court. Thanks to Joe Biden, you know he's behind this whole thing.
100%.
You know he's behind it. Well, yesterday he said that Trump knows he's in trouble in his bid to become president. Oh, does he? Does he? He opened up his remarks with a cocky statement about when we win and mocked Trump. Said, folks, thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you something else when I get up here. I want to tell you something else. When we win, he ain't staying in Washington State. What? Anybody understand that? What's that reference?
In Washington.
He's not staying in Washington State? Okay, I see. Because he was in Washington at the time. Okay, so then Governor Inslee said, uh-oh, and then he got some laughter and applause.
Wait, Governor Inslee, the transcript says, uh-oh?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay.
Then the president says, go talk to Trudy, which I don't, is that Inslee's wife maybe? I don't know. Then Inslee says, go get it, have fun tonight. And the president says this, really creative, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how he came up with that spur of the moment like that, or was it in the teleprompter? I don't know, but brilliant. Then he said, hello, Seattle, but thank you for the warm welcome, but please keep it down. Donald Trump is sleeping.
What?
Is that funny or what? Because he's fallen asleep in court, and so now, Sleepy Dawn, I kind of like that these days.
Dude, stop.
So bad.
Leave the comedy to the professionals, old man.
Then he said,
old ass bum.
Trump says when he loses again, he says if I say when. And then they laughed and applauded. When he loses again, he says there will be a bloodbath.
Okay.
His words. A bloodbath. He means it. He's still shopping that garbage.
Oh, no.
And trying to incite people. I mean, this is so irresponsible and so un-American to keep making it as though he was threatening, physical violence and blood in the streets when he wasn't talking about that. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows he was talking about the car industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he just keeps doing this over and over and over again. It's despicable.
By the way,
despicable.
Speaking of the car industry, as a matter of fact, Joe just announced new tariffs for China. And I think, let's see, on electric cars coming from China, the tariff's going to go up 100%. There's some electronic stuff's going to go up, I think, 75%. But most are going to be raised 25%. And this is the same Joe Biden who ripped Trump for imposing high tariffs on China.
Yeah.
He called it an abuse of policy. But when he does it, it's fine. Right?
Yeah, it's good, in fact. Sure. And I love the fact that he keeps saying, Trump knows he's in trouble.
Oh, no.
What? I mean, Trump leads in 6 out of the 7 swing states, including being up by 10 in Georgia and 12 points in Nevada. The economy is in shambles right now.
Yep.
Immigration is the worst it's ever been in our history. His foreign policy is killing us. He's turned on Israel because of pressure from psychotic buffoons in his own party. He's ignoring mandates by the Supreme Court, who told him again he can't do this student loan debt thing. He's acting like a 2-bit tyrannical dictator, and he has flushed women down the drain by allowing men to compete against biological women in women's sports. Yeah, somebody knows they're in trouble, but it isn't Donald Trump. I can't wait to get rid of this guy from the White House. From the White House. That's important to note.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah, of course.
I don't want people making that out of, into something violent, because that's not what I'm talking about.
251 days, 4 hours, 18
It doesn't
minutes,
change.
30,
It's still 250. That's impossible.
He's adding days.
You are, right?
You're adding days to that countdown?
Every time it's in the 250s. It's been, a month? It's got to be lower than that.
Wait,
come on, Chris.
What's the full name of the president again? I forget.
Joseph Robinette Biden.
Thank you. And he was wearing pants when he was in Washington State. Do we know this for a fact?
Well, one of the first things he said when he got up to the podium was, "Why am I not wearing pants?"
Thank you.
So he was a little confused, I think, about where he was.
Speaking of confused, did you
is he getting ready for bed, or is he getting ready for a speech? He didn't know. He didn't know.
There was a White House transcript that was not corrected. You've talked about the hundreds of times they've had to correct transcripts from mistakes he's made. They didn't correct it when he called. He referred to Kim Jong-un as the leader of South Korea.
Duh.
But
really, when was that? Was that this
last week? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Man, he sucks
so bad.
Go, you know the thing.
Oh, go, you know the thing.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. We're just really spitting it out here today, aren't we?
Just give me a stand-up, Chuck.
Stand up, Chuck. Let him see you.
All right. Jeffy, the pressure's on.
Of course, he's not here till tomorrow, so.
Well.
You're safe until then.
Till tomorrow. Yep.
Okay.
I hope everybody had a fresh highlighter for this particular bingo week, because, wow, we're covering some squares.
Keith does his live stream every Friday at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, on Twitter and the YouTube pages. But on Friday, you had Adam Johnson on, also known as Via Getty. Remember him?
I love that.
The guy carrying the lectern.
Yes.
He has an interesting thought on why he got into so much trouble for moving that lectern 10 feet through the rotunda on January 6th.
Uh-huh. I've seen multiple protests happen in that building, even before January 6th. I thought that my actions, at least, were on par with what you're allowed to do inside of the Capitol building, because I've seen plenty of examples of what happens inside the Capitol building during a protest.
No, sorry.
And I know my judge for all of his All of his wisdom. He was
nice choice of words.
I try to be as polite as possible. I think my attorney said the same thing. I didn't go to prison because my crime was so egregious. I went to prison because I embarrassed them. That photo can't be explained. When you look at that juxtaposed to what they showed everyone else, I mean, the left loves showing everything but my photo. That photo, it's a narrative destroyer. And and the right love showing my photo because of that reason, but they don't like showing what the left shows.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just stuck in this position where it's, answer this, explain this.
Okay, we're gonna talk to Steve Baker about January 6th and some other interesting developments we just learned of coming up in a minute. First, let me tell you about Backyard Butchers. It's a Christian, conservative, Texas-based company dedicated to delivering American-raised and harvested meat from right here in our American backyards to dinner tables across the nation. Backyard Butchers will only source beef and chicken from American farms and deliver the cuts right to your doorstep every single month. It's grass-fed, grain-finished. It tastes amazing. You're going to love this. Over 500,000 happy customers across the U.S., hundreds of five-star reviews on Google, and an American-based customer service team of stay-at-home moms. So they're going to make sure your orders are delivered right on time every single month. Cut out the frustration from the meat aisle and go to backyardbutchers.com. You'll save an extra 20% from your entire order when you use the offer code UNLEASHED. And when you subscribe, you get an additional 10% off and free shipping. So don't be fooled by, packages of meat that say a product of the USA. That just means that they packaged it here. That doesn't mean the meat came from here, was grown and raised in the U.S. So go to backyardbutchers.com/unleashed today.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Joining us in studio is the world-renowned, highly acclaimed Steve Baker. Welcome, Steve.
Pat, good to see you again.
Surprised you're not in prison yet. Once again, you're skating from this egregious crime that you committed.
The rumors are that I am controlled opposition. I am a Fed. That's why. I'm still on the loose.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I bet people are spreading that around.
Oh, no. It's absurd. I think I may have told y'all last time, but I am now officially on George Soros' payroll. So.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations.
You and Ray Epps.
What does he pay? I mean, I'm guessing that's a decent gig.
I'm still looking for my offshore bank account so that I can find out.
He's probably setting that up for you right now.
And then as soon as I get it, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
I don't blame you, frankly.
Right.
That's great. So tell us the latest on this. This is pretty amazing to me because apparently something we didn't know was that you were in Nashville when there was an incident there as well, right? So you were in the heart of the Washington, D.C. January 6th situation. And then tell us what Nashville situation happened while you were there.
I feel like I'm being set up right now.
No. You told the story on the live stream.
I got to Nashville on Christmas Eve. I had been out during the COVID lockdowns. I was traveling around and doing meetups to followers of my blog all over the country. I traveled to 28 states during the lockdowns just to get out of North Carolina because we were pretty severely hit there.
Since you traveled so much, this has nothing to do with anything. But did you get COVID?
No. Well, I mean, I did eventually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but not then. Not during.
Okay.
I got it like a year later.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think everybody that we were meeting with during that 28 state run, we all survived, and so I'd had a meetup the night before, the day before Christmas Eve rather. I think it was in Indiana. I think I said Columbus on your show the other day, Keith, but it was in Indiana.
So you lied.
Yeah,
you lied to the people.
Well, I'm misdirecting. It's a misdirection. When you live the life I live, you've always got to be
Fed.
Yeah, and so I drove early the next morning down to Nashville, and I got to Nashville about 1:15, something like that. And me and my buddy, who I was spending Christmas with, he and his family, we have a particular gin that we like, and because he's a great gin and tonic guy. And so we have our favorite, and so I went down to 2nd Street where the bomb went off the next morning. I parked 3 spots from where the RV was parked by the guy that blew up 2nd Street in downtown. And so I got out, walked across the street, and went to the liquor store, and then came back over, and then the next morning. I mean, that's our phones aren't working because I use AT&T, and of course it blew up right there at the AT&T, like switch station or whatever it was, and so we didn't have phone service for I want to say a day and a half, might have been as much as 3 days, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this happened right before January 6th.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks before January 6th.
Okay, and then the other interesting aspect of that happening, though, is that the FBI found out you were there.
Yeah.
Right? Right. So the FBI now knows that you were in both locations. You're a prime suspect, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, during my FBI interview about January 6th, they actually questioned me about why I was in Nashville that day.
Wow. Yeah, how did they know you were in Nashville that day?
Man, they know everything.
They do, unfortunately. They know everything. But I mean, I did actually do a story on it. So I was there. I was in Nashville. So I took my tripod and my camera, went down there, sat it up on the street the next day on the day after Christmas, and did a man on the street thing with the 2nd Street all blown up behind me over my shoulder. And so I mean, if they were by then they were looking at everything I had.
Were you shocked though? Were you surprised that they knew that you were there?
I mean, I had to laugh when they brought it up, because I mean they had the case closed by like that afternoon. Christmas Day. I mean, the FBI field office guy was on television. This was Anthony Warner. It was a lone wolf operation. Blah blah blah. I mean, they solved that one in 6 hours, but they're still working 3.5 years later to solve the pipe bomb case. So just let that sink in for a moment.
Wow. Wow.
But they're they'll eventually find out where all the other places I've been.
Where were you on the day Ruby Ridge happened in Idaho?
I wasn't actually there, but I was in the grassy knoll, 1963 November.
Okay. Yeah.
Roswell, 1947. I was there.
Really?
You remember
just visiting relatives?
You remember the smoking man from X-Files? That's actually based on my life story.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Waco?
Yeah.
Yeah. Branch Davidian situation. Yeah.
I actually was in the tank that punched the window.
Yeah. And maybe knocked something over that started the fire. Mm-hmm. You bastard. Mm-hmm. Well, you definitely belong behind bars. We know that by now. Now, your next arraignment is June 3rd, right? What happens then?
Yeah, it's a status hearing. I don't yet know. I mean, it'll be wrangling back and forth between the government and my attorneys. I will sit there quietly and listen to them argue for motions that we've made related to. We've asked for a complete vacating of all of my pretrial restrictions so I can get my guns back. And
tell us about what the restrictions are. First of all, did they take you had to turn your guns in, right? They didn't come to you and take them.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to even give them to them. I actually had to. All I had to do was take them to a friend's house. So I transferred them to a friend's house, put them in his safe. That's where they are. And my handgun, my primary carry weapon is here in Dallas at my lawyer's.
But you cannot carry that right now.
I can't carry it right now. No,
that's incredible.
Yeah. So we're working on. We've got a motion.
Not
to get
convicted
that back.
of anything.
No,
I mean, that's un-American.
Well, and it's worse than that, Pat, because it's nonviolent misdemeanor charges.
Yeah,
right. So so even if I'm convicted of them, I won't even lose my guns because they're misdemeanor. I'll get them right.
How is it they can do this?
The day after I get convicted, I'll get my guns back the next day.
Wow.
So, but I can't protect myself in the meantime. So I mean, it's one of those things where there's only two actual reasons for having pretrial restrictions: danger to society, or your flight risk. Well, I have no travel restrictions on me whatsoever. I can even fly internationally, so I'm obviously not a flight risk. I have no criminal history, no violent history of any kind whatsoever.
When have you demonstrated a tendency to violence?
And so that's what we're forcing the government to do right now in our most recent motion, is to demonstrate to the court why I'm a risk to society.
So what are the restrictions other than the gun thing?
I can't drunk text my FBI agent anymore. I'm not kidding.
What?
That's actually in my pretrial restrictions.
Oh, that's no fun.
I wear that one with a badge of honor. Yeah. I'm not actually arguing for that one to be taken away.
Does it really say drunk text?
Well, I can't text him anymore.
Okay.
I'm not saying under what circumstances he was texted, but...
Oh, you did text him, though?
Oh, yeah.
And now you can't?
Yeah, now I can't.
Were they nudes? What were they? Gosh, man.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the truth. When I found out that the charges were only misdemeanors, I said his name is Special Agent Craig Noyes, and I said I'm not texting, so I'm just saying it over the radio. I'm not violating the language of my pretrial restriction at this moment. So I text,
are you guys pretty close though?
Yeah.
Pretty good friends.
I mean, we worked the Nashville case together.
Yeah.
So. So I texted him on the night that I found out that there were only misdemeanor charges, and I said, "Hey, Craig, really? Only misdemeanors? Is that the best you can do?"
That's so great.
No.
That's great. A little taunting.
Yeah. Well, and then my attorney called me the next day and said, "I'm going to take your phone away."
Yeah, I bet he was not happy about that.
Right.
Wow.
So,
wow.
What? You just dropped an article on The Blaze, and it's something that every voter in Maryland's 3rd Congressional District needs to read today.
Yeah.
Because today it's very important.
I don't know how many listeners you have, Pat, in the 3rd Congressional District of Maryland, but don't
all of them. They all listen. 600,000 people.
Right. You have a favorite phrase when you're talking about Biden. You always call him a lying sack. There is one much larger lying sack than Biden, and by large, he's 6'7", 350 pounds, and he lies with greater frequency than Biden, and that is former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn.
Oh.
And he's leading in the polls right now by, I think, 4 points.
My gosh.
Yeah, in the primary.
Oh, that's outrageous.
So you Maryland folks need to take him out.
At the polls.
Politically.
Yes.
Speaking. Yes.
I mean, and I was reading your story over at The Blaze, and I mean, there are veterans, 3 combat veterans running against him, and this is the guy that's in the lead right now.
Well, this is the guy that got the
endorsement of the veterans groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vote Vets Political Action Committee endorsed the non-veteran over 3 actual combat veterans in the race.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love this.
Wow.
I mean, you talked about how he's a lying sack. I mean, he claimed that that the N-word was shouted at him by a group of up to 50 people.
Up to 50 people.
And this is documented lie.
Which is garbage.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
He had bloody knuckles at the end of the day after punching all the protesters he had to encounter. Didn't happen. I mean, it goes on and on with all the lies from this guy. So anyway, he'll fit in, like you said, with me, that he would fit in perfectly in Congress.
Right? Yeah, I mean, my favorite saying right now is that pathologically lying cop to Congress member, that's a lateral career move.
Yeah. That's for sure. I was just reading, sadly, that there was another suicide of J6, I'm going to call them victims. There was he's awaiting trial and killed himself.
Yep. No, this is a human tragedy beyond the what happened that day, and that's not to take away from the fact that 140 officers were injured that day by violent perpetrators and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there have been officers who have committed suicide since then, police officers, and then now we're up to, I think, our 5th actual January 6th defendant who has taken their life, and because you can't understand the weaponization of this government against how intense it is against January 6th defendants, and they just can't take it. They're going home because they lose their job, they lose everything. They can rape, pillage, and burn Minneapolis down and not lose their jobs and not be shunned by society.
Really true.
If you swung a flagpole on January 6th, you're toast.
And another good point that Adam Johnson mentioned when we were talking was that the court cost, the legal fees for these defendants, and then time after time after time, if someone involved with January 6th starts a GoFundMe, and then they raise money to help with their defense, then our grotesque government will then come up with a fine to match what they raised.
Yep.
And then they have to pay that fine.
That's right.
Pay that money that they raised in a fine as opposed to legal costs.
Yep.
I mean, this is not America anymore. It's absolutely
despicable.
not.
No, that is when they say the punishment is the process or the process is the punishment, that's true. I'm experiencing a little bit of that right now myself. But man, I'll tell you, it's like you said, if you raise $250,000 for your legal fees and then your fine is $250,000,
yep. I mean, it's so
that's just
crazy.
Purposeful.
Yeah, it's despicable, un-American.
And you're back in court June 3rd.
June 3rd.
What's your next article going to be on?
We actually should be coming out with a trailer to our new mini documentary about Harry Dunn, a day in the life of Harry Dunn. So we've got. Okay. I'm hoping the trailer will be finished and we can debut that today. And then my next article is going to be. I'm juggling between two right now because they're both really, really big stories. And one of them is getting really deep into the life of John Sullivan, much more so than anybody else has seen before.
Oh, great. All right. Got overtime coming up. I'll be filling in for Glenn again today. So we'll see you back. We'll see you there and then back here tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.